Have you dreamed of starting your own business, breaking out on your own? Or are you in your career and you really want to take it to the next level? It could just be as easy as starting another division or bringing on another product offering to the company that you work in right now. We all want to make more money. We all want to get ahead and push to the next level. The only way to do that is to build more business. Here is the good, bad, and the ugly of starting your own business from scratch. So for myself, one of the businesses that I started from scratch was a robotics and automation company. We became an integration business for robotic arms like Fanuc, KUKA, the 6 degree freedom arms. You've seen them probably in movies and videos of arms that move like that. They weld up things, they move boxes from place to place. So I started up Remtech Systems, and it spun out of Williams & White. So we were offering pure machining, fabricating services, and I wanted to get into the automation field more and more, and I really wanted to offer this as a service. And it's interesting how a business can come to be. So you have an idea and you get out there and you really start talking about it with people. So all too often, one of the main setbacks that I see is people don't get out there and talk about it. They become very protective of their idea, and they're worried that maybe someone's going to steal their idea, so they don't want to talk to anyone about it, and you end up just never even getting started. The way that I went about it is I just went out and started to talk to customers about automation solutions. And it was in a bakery that a customer actually said to me, I don't understand why you're trying to create these custom automation solutions. A lot of these things exist already and you could just buy them off the shelf. Well, I went back and I started pondering on that. And that was when I reached out to Fanuc Robotics and ABB Robotics. And luck would have it, they were looking for a channel partner for Western Canada. I became a channel partner with ABB Robotics first, a systems integrator. And it really went from there, and it developed the business in a direction that when I first started, I would never have thought about. Originally, I was thinking that we would essentially be doing hard automation, kind of engineering services, and that kind of business. And now, almost 10 years later, I sold Remtech. It spun out. It's doing well. They've got multiple employees. They've got lots of different installs. And it's a very successful robotics integrator here in Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. And it came from having these kind of open conversations with customers, getting out in the marketplace and really being out there and understanding the needs and demands of people in the marketplace. Also, an amazing place to start is to go to trade shows and find trade shows in your sector, in your industry that you want to target. So if I was to start a new business in the automotive sector, I would definitely find, the largest trade shows, some of even the small regional ones, and I'd get there and start meeting the different clients in those different industries. I expanded our business to Europe, and I took the same approach. I landed in the UK and didn't know anyone really in Europe, and just started going to all the trade shows, meeting all the players, and it has resulted in our business being able to unfold there and be quite successful. So if you're thinking about, starting your own startup or jumping into something, do know that it's not for the faint of heart. Having a business is not the easiest way to, produce an income for yourself. You need to be prepared for the challenges and the downturns that can come. Every business is ebb and flow. So you need to be very, very prepared for that mentally. There's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. Sometimes, you might be in a position where you have a cash flow crunch or you have an HR challenge and it's not going to be all roses. So make sure before you jump into it that you're the type of personality who has that level of perseverance, that you're willing to really put up with anything, because there is no support network for the person at the top either. There's no one to turn to and ask, for advice. You need to be able to have that self-determination and pick yourself up when things get really, really difficult, which can always happen. And there's really no business that's going to have just peaches and cream all the time. It's going to be a real experience for you. Obviously, I still would highly recommend trying to build a support network around you. Mentors, other business owners are great to reach out to. But still, at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. So you need to be able to put the mental fortitude in place to be able to weather those storms and make sure that your company continues to grow through any situations that can come up. There's also the element of, bricks and mortar that you need to put in place if you're looking to start your own business. So are you going to incorporate, keep it as an LLC? Is it going to be just a consultancy where really you are the product and you can go a different direction like that? But you should consult with an accountant and you should consult with a lawyer for those specific elements of the business that you need to consider. Then you want to consider, how can you fund this? So it really depends on the idea itself. So if you have a very large idea that needs millions and millions of dollars to do a test site, for example, you're going to need to likely get investors and to get things started. But you may be starting a business that you can purely bootstrap out of your own savings or out of just getting started. For example, if it was a professional services consultancy, say physiotherapy, you're almost able to make money on day one if you run it as an independent and you go on site to people's workplace to perform the service. But if you're building, rocket ships like Elon Musk, well, you're going to have to start with some investors and get some capital because those are intense things to be able to bring to fruition. So entrepreneurship is an amazing and rewarding experience. So if you're thinking about it, or intrapreneurship as well within an organization, if you're in a company, we can all go to work every day and we can punch in and we can punch out, and you really do get what you give. So if you give to your organization, you're going to get so much more. For intrapreneurship, it can be launching that new product. So always be thinking about how the marketplace is changing and what would be the next demand. Because, Henry Ford put it well when he said, if I'd asked everybody when, they were on horses what they want, they wouldn't say an automobile. They would say faster horses. And so revolutionary products are quite tricky because you need to be in that sweet spot of not being so far ahead of the curve that nobody adopts the technology, but also being far enough ahead that it is revolutionary and makes an impact and makes a difference on people's lives. So, it is one of the greatest gifts. I've loved being a business owner and expanding our company and bringing on new products and bringing on new lines and new service offerings. It's one of my greatest parts of my role and my career. It's something that I've very much enjoyed, but it does involve change management. And so getting people's minds around doing things differently, bringing on new ideas can be very taxing, can be very tiring, because you're continuously on the front end pushing people beyond their limits and where they think that they would like to do things. If you're loving the content, please like and subscribe to the channel, share the videos. It makes a massive impact to the algorithm and does make a difference to the channel. Also, check out my video on cold calling. It's going to 10x your business. It's old school, but it's definitely how you can get in touch with customers and make sure that you're making an impact to their everyday. And if you're starting your own business or you're starting a different division within your company, nothing beats being in front of your customers. So don't be at your desk, don't be in your office. Get out there, get in front of your customers if you can. If your customers are online, be online. Engage them, create a following, create an audience so that you can engage with that audience and you can then transition that to a very successful business. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Thank you so much. Have a great one.